Mike Dell's World, number 163 for July 12th, 2010.
Across the county line, Highway 23, where the moss hangs lazy from the live oak trees. Doyle's under the Camaro, it's up on blocks. There's a mountain of junk from the house to the barn. He works next door at the alligator farm, but there's a whole lot of nothing going on. He's got a couple days off. And there's a bleach blonde chain smoker on the other side. Loretta sells Mary Kate from a pink double wide. She got a poodle Henri. He barks in French. She's a peacock strutting through the waist-high yard. Sparkle flip-flops stop at the edge of the car. Doyle says, honey, would you hand me that Crescent Ranch? She says, I'm getting a lawyer to make you clean this mess. Doyle says that everybody needs a hobby, I guess. And a good day goes from bad to worse. Henri bites him hard on the hand. Doyle smacks his head on the oil pan. And then he crawls out from under and he starts to curse. He says, if your little mutt lifts a leg on my Harley one more time, he's gonna meet Big Charlie, 12 feet long, claws, teeth, and tail. She said, Doyle, you're mean as mean can be, and if anything ever happens to my little Henri, you can bet your ass I have you thrown in jail. Yeah. Whoa. Well, Henri turns up missing 2 days later. Loretta's convinced it's an alligator, and she's shouting at Doyle, you murdering SOB! He said, I was gone all day out riding my hog. I ain't done nothing to you, stupid little dog. Calm down, Loretta. Let's go have a look-see. They look around the house and behind the barn, through the spiderweb woods and the alligator farm. There's a big fat snake slithering into the pond. Loretta looks down and she starts to holler. On the ground there's a little pink rhinestone collar. She trembles and cries, my little Henri's gone. She starts slapping Doyle, she kicks him in the shin. They're slipping in the mud and then they both fall in. And there's alligators everywhere, eyeing easy prey. And then a scaly tail scrapes her back. Loretta shrieks like a train on a rusty track. And Big Charlie and his buddies freak out and swim away. Yeah. Whoa. They crawl up on the bank on their hands and knees, barely catch their breath, something sneaking through the weeds. Loretta screams again and Henri comes out yapping. Well, she's so happy, she says, Doyle, come and hug me. Said, you ain't too smart, but at least you ain't ugly. Let's get out of here, Loretta, before something else happens. Well, back at the house, Loretta lights a smoke. Doyle pops a beer, cracks a couple of jokes. He says, I guess Big Charlie doesn't like poodle fluff. And then they hose off the mud and they soak each other. They're laughing and one thing leads to another. Henri starts barking at the kissing and stuff. Yeah. Whoa. Woo. Well, the years have gone by, a few things have changed. The Camaro's still there, but the junk's rearranged. And there's a pink double wide parked beside the barn. In a lawn chair having a Mary Kay sale. Loretta's painting pink polish on Henri's nails. And Doyle's working next door at the alligator farm. Yeah. Whoa. Woo. Big Charlie says, hey.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. This is Mike, and this is Mike Dell's World, as I said at the beginning. That song there was Bill K.R., Doyle, Loretta, and the Alligator. That's from the PodSafe Music Network, otherwise known as musicalley.com. And I just thought that was kind of a fun song, kind of a Florida-related song, and you know, around here in Traverse City, we've had Florida-type weather. See, last week we had the National Cherry Festival was going on. I don't know. I think the last podcast, the Blue Angels were flying around. Of course, listening back to it, I didn't hear any of it either. So apparently my noise limiter gate compressor thingy is doing its job and keeping out the background noise, even if it's a cool background noise of F-18s flying around. But anyway, had a pretty successful Cherry Festival. Went to, on the 3rd of July, went to a Beach Bums baseball game. That's our minor league team here in Traverse City. And that was pretty good. It was a success. The Beach Bums won over the, what was the name of the team? The Normal Cornhuskers. I guess from, was it Normal, Oklahoma or Normal, Illinois? I don't know. Somewhere down there. But anyway, the Beach Bums won 7-6, and then they had a really awesome fireworks display after the game. And then, of course, on the 4th of July, we had the Blue Angels flying around here over West Grand Traverse Bay. Of course, I live on East Grand Traverse Bay, but it's not too far to west. And so anyway, watched the Blue Angels fly around, and it's a good show as always. They come here about every 2 years, and of course, when I used to be stationed down at Eglin Air Force Base in North Florida, we were right next door to where the Blue Angels do their practices in the wintertime when they're not on the road during a show season. And I don't know, I'd say probably once a week they would come over Eglin and practice their show. So yeah, I got to see them quite a bit. So it was kind of a old home week there. Why? Wow, if I breathe, you actually hear that. Oh well, still getting used to the compressor and limiter gate, whatever. Excuse me, I had to cough there. But yeah, like I said, it's just been a normal touristy summer so far here in Traverse City. And like I said, it's been like Florida weather, oppressively hot and humid all week. All last week was just it was just something else. I don't know. It's not normal, but I guess it is normal. We get that every now and again. And just watching the Weather Channel, most places were getting into the hundreds, and there's all that out east, the big heat wave. Of course, that makes the news. But if we get to 100, man, nobody says anything about it. Just like when we get a big blizzard, nobody says anything about it. But 2 days later, when New York gets the same blizzard, it's top of the news. So I guess we're firmly ensconced in flyover country, and whatever happens here doesn't really matter. So I didn't really take in too much of the Cherry Festival this year, as usual. I usually do just a couple of things. Went down to the Midway there and had my Gibby's fries. That's actually they're local here from Traverse City, but they travel with the carnivals and fairs and whatnot, and it's one of the few times in the year where Gibby's actually has their trailer open locally here. So if you ever go to a carnival or a fair or something in the Midwest, look for Gibby's fries. They're definitely worth seeking out, and I suggest getting the plain fries and then putting vinegar on them, vinegar and salt. Good stuff. But anyway, did that, and like I said, watched the Blue Angels, did the baseball game, which really wasn't part of the Cherry Festival, but it was kind of cool. We had a B-17 bomber, big 4-engine bomber from World War II, made a couple of flybys, and also the Beach Bums game there, that was Veterans Night, so they had all of us veterans come out onto the field before the game and all that stuff, and it was kind of cool. We were there with a pretty big group of family and friends, and out of our group, let's see, there was me, my dad, 2 uncles, I guess that was it. Yeah, me and my dad and 2 uncles, so 4 of us from our group were veterans, and we all got to go down on the field and shake hands with the the Blue Angels. I got Thunderbirds on the brain. You know, the Blue Angels are the second best jet aerobatic team in the United States, followed, following closely behind the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. I only say that because I'm former Air Force. They're both pretty cool. And actually, the Blue Angels have better airplanes. So the fact that the Thunderbirds are as good as they are using inferior aircraft is pretty impressive. So, they've got to be the better team. Of course, if you ask Todd over at Geek News Central, he would tell you the opposite. But, he's a retired Navy man, so, got to be true to the home team, I guess. So let's see what else been going on. Like I said, not a whole lot, just doing the tourist thing. And was it Saturday? Kathy and I decided we were going to play tourists. And, rather than go too far out of the area, we just went a little bit north, went up to Charlevoix, Michigan, and sort of hung around down there. They had an art fair going on, and of course, we stopped at a pub up there and did a little shopping around and, kind of a quaint little downtown area there in Charlevoix. And then got hungry and we thought, well, geez, we're not that far from Petoskey, which is, another 20 minutes up the road. So went up to Petoskey and went to the Odawa Casino. It's obviously an Indian casino there in Petoskey, but went to the Odawa Casino and took in the lunch buffet over there. And, of course, on the, after lunch and on the way out, we did a little gambling, not much. Played about 10 minutes worth of craps, and we were both out of money. So, we said the heck with that and went up to the bar and had a drink and a smoke, which is odd in Michigan because pretty much anywhere else you can't smoke indoors. Of course, I smoke cigars, periodically, not all the time, but one of my guilty pleasures was to go to the bar and have a cigar. Well, we can't do that unless you're in a casino now. And literally, that's the only place that you can do that. It's in a casino. And so that was a treat for me. Of course, I got to do that down in Missouri when I was driving home from Texas. So yeah, it wasn't like that big a deal. But anyway, the lunch at the casino was awesome, by the way. And something that we found out afterwards is that my sister, my mother, and my grandmother were at the casino at the same time we were. And of course, we hadn't talked to each other, and they didn't know we were going up there, and we didn't know they were going up there. And that was kind of interesting to find out we were there at the same time. Okay. Got the dog barking in the background here, as usual. Of course, like I said, I think this noise gate limiter thingy probably filters out most of that. So, I don't know. We'll see. And, oh boy, he's going crazy now. That might be my FedEx package that I got coming. So, let me pause this and I'll go see if that's the case. Okay, that was indeed FedEx with my package from Critchfield. Or I guess it was UPS. I don't know. But anyway, it was funny. He heard the dog barking, obviously, and left a dog biscuit on top of the package that he put on the back porch there. So that was pretty cool. I'll tell you about what's in the package there after I play this song here. Let's see. What are we going to play? Let's play Dumb Boy by Tellin' on Trixie from the PodSafe Music Network.
Heaven knows I've been a dumb boy. Heaven knows sleep on, I keep on, 'cause it's round two with you. All I know is I can't, 'cause I've tried and my plans are all tied. Dumb boys make a mess of the plans they made. Similarly, trying to be something I'm never gonna be, but that's just the way it's gotta be. But I'm never gonna give you up, I'm never gonna give you up, 'cause I've got one more chance to make this thing last if I can. Never gonna give you up, I'm never gonna give you up, 'cause I've got one more chance to make this thing last if I can. Is it wise to trust me? Round one was not so lovely in the rain. The second time, I know I can make it, 'cause some boys fake it. Never gonna give you up, I'm never gonna give you up, 'cause I got one more chance to make this thing last if I can. Never gonna give you up, I'm never gonna give you up now, baby. Never gonna give you up, I'm never gonna give you up now, baby. Never give you up, 'cause we've got one more chance to make things last.
This podcast is part of the Blueberry Network. Find other fine podcasts at www.blubrry.com. That's Blueberry with no E's.
And you've heard me talk about GoToMeeting before. It's the easiest and most convenient way to host online meetings from your PC or your Mac. Well, we got exciting news. Now you can even take it on the go with the iPad tablet. GoToMeeting, brought to you by Citrix, has a free app specifically built for the iPad. It makes online meetings more accessible than ever. With GoToMeeting on your iPad, you can attend online meetings on the go, in a cafe, in a hotel, wherever you are, as long as you got internet access. Just download the GoToMeeting app and join sessions on your iPad tablet in seconds. See the host computer screen on your iPad screen. Connect to audio through your iPad or over the phone. My listeners can try GoToMeeting free for 30 days. For this special offer, visit gotomeeting.com/techpodcast. That's gotomeeting.com/techpodcast for your free 30-day trial. And yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't have an iPad, darn it. And if anybody wants to send me one, I'll be happy to send you my address. But anyway, no, I'm not really asking for an iPad, but that would be cool. But anyway, go check them out. GoToMeeting.com/techpodcasts. And they help me defray the costs of my hobby of podcasting here. So I'd appreciate if you go try them out at least. But I use that stuff all the time. But anyway, enough of the commercial. And, of course, that little blueberry liner there was Richard from Australia, a friend of mine, who was here a couple months ago and was so kind to let me record him talking in his native tongue, which is some form of English, I think. just harassing you there, Richard. Thanks. And he should be back in Australia. I believe they flew out on Saturday from Los Angeles. So, I don't know. What does that make it? Today's Monday here. What is it? Thursday afternoon in Sydney? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. We got a few friends down there, down under. Irk from IrkPod. Or channelirk.com. And, of course, Mike James, who is a very occasional podcaster, part of the Trucking Podcasters. He drives a road train down there out of Perth, and it's fun to chat with him from time to time. So anyway, yeah, that the name of that song was "Dumb Boy" by Tellin' on Trixie, and I gotta say, in our little trip on Saturday, when we went up north to Petoskey and Charlevoix, and just kind of played tourist here in the area. When I was leaving town, this is hilarious. It's Cherry Festival, so the traffic is just nuts around here. You're cramming, 145,000 people into a town, meant to accommodate 25,000. So, it's just bananas. So we're driving out on US 31, which is at that point just a 4-lane undivided highway. Everybody, and the speed limit's 45 going out of town. And I had this guy come up behind me like I was standing still. I mean, he couldn't have come up a whole lot faster had I just been sitting still. But I'm doing the speed limit 45. I'm probably doing 40. Maybe going a little slow. I'm in the left lane. The right lane's going even slower because everybody's turning, so there's, they were probably going 20. He comes up behind me and then he swerves to the left, swerves to the right, flashes his lights, and just all kinds of crazy. Well, that just invites me to just say, all right, screw it. So I sped up a little bit to the speed limit and caught up with another vehicle that was doing the speed limit in the right lane, or doing just slightly less than the speed limit in the right lane, and I kind of slowed down a little bit. And I mean, this guy was just going bonkers. And the direction he's going, there's nothing that he could be in an emergency to get to, but it was just crazy. And so, I was dedicating this show to stupid people. Of course, I don't have a whole, I've got a lot to say about stupid people, but, I think they're everywhere. I'm convinced, in the couple of jobs that I have that I have to deal with people that, I'm convinced that there are people out there, and they're not dumb IQ wise, they're not unintelligent, but they don't apply common sense to things. It's like in the case of this driver. All he would have done if he'd have got past me, in fact, he did eventually get past me, and he ran into somebody else doing the speed limit. And I mean, what is this guy's life like? I mean, do you have to be in such a complete and utter hurry all the time? I just don't get it. Like I say, I've been known to be in a hurry from time to time, and but I also know that driving erratically doesn't necessarily get you to where you're going any faster, and when you get there, you're all stressed out. So why not just take your time? Go with the flow. Yeah, traffic jams bug me too. We didn't have traffic jams. Everybody was moving. The only thing jamming up was him. Everybody else was moving along at the speed limit. And, it was just fun to watch. I was half expecting to see him either flipped over on the side of the road or pulled over by the numerous police officers that, tend to be around this time of year. During Cherry Festival, they don't let any of the county deputies, or the city police go on any vacations, and they call in all the reserves. The state police send people from other districts in, and even some of the adjacent counties send a few deputies in to manage the crowds. And this happens twice in July. We got the Cherry Festival at the beginning of July, and we got the Traverse City Film Festival, which is quickly growing and may at some point be as popular as the Sundance Film Festival out in Utah. Of course, behind that film festival is Michael Moore, who is a local native. Not that I'm super proud of that. I mean, he's done a lot with this film festival, so I'm not gonna sit here and cut him down. But I don't agree with a lot of his politics, as you might imagine. But like I said, he's done a pretty good thing with this film festival, and it's pretty much non-political as much as any sort of Hollywood sort of event is. So we got that to look forward to next week, I guess. Is it next week? I don't know. It's toward the end of July, so it's not quite as big as the Cherry Festival yet, but it's getting there. I foresee in the next 4 or 5 years that it may become as big as the Cherry Festival. Last year we had Phil Donahue, we had Madonna. I forget who else we had here. For the film festival, of course, Michael Moore. He's always here. Interesting dude, too, by the way. He drives around in this mid-'90s Chrysler minivan that's just all beat to hell, and, he drives like he dresses. That's you got to respect the guy a little bit for that. He's not one to, or at least not around here. He's probably got nice cars in his other houses around the country or whatever. And I'm sure he's taking his share of limo rides, but, for transportation around here, he's just down to basics. I'm kind of that way too. Although I've had car fever on and off for the last, 6-8 months, and still haven't pulled the trigger on any new vehicles. So anyway, I got a couple other things to play here, and then I'll tell you what was in the package. Has to do with driving the old cars.
Oh.
What's wrong, dear?
I can't find my car keys.
You can't?
No, I'm pretty sure they're nearby, but when I look down, all I see is a coat, a winter hat, the newspaper, and the book I was reading earlier.
Honey, have you ever tried looking for things?
Looking for things? What's that?
It's an amazing new system.
I don't understand.
Let me show you how it works.
Who are you?
My name is Luke Ski, and I'm the inventor of the patented Looking for Things item location and clutter elimination system.
How did you get in my house?
I let him in.
Damn right you did. Now, I understand you can't find your car keys.
Yeah, they were here a little while ago, but now I can't find them.
Well, let me help you with one of my helpful rhymes for helping. If what you're looking for is out of sight, move an item to the right.
What?
Just pick up that newspaper there and move it over to the right. Do you see your car keys?
Why, yes, there they are. It's a miracle.
It's not a miracle. It's looking for things. Soon you'll be ready for my next helpful rhyme for helping. If to the right was the wrong guess, move an item to the left.
That doesn't rhyme.
Shut up!
Luke, I'm confused. Aren't men supposed to be the sloppy, disorganized ones, and women keep everything neat and tidy and clean?
That's old hat. That went out with button shoes. It's a common misconception that women are clean and organized. In reality, women are just as lazy, sloth-like, and slobby as most men. Some even more so.
Are all women like this?
No, not all women. Just every one I ever dated for the first 33 years of my life.
That's sexist.
Nope, that's the truth. Yes, for years I was constantly being asked by whoever I was involved with to help them find their keys, their cell phones, their lighters, their cigarettes, and so on. After years of research, I noticed that I could usually find whatever it is they were looking for within seconds by applying a few simple steps and getting up and actually looking for the thing that was missing. So I decided to take my new system and put it on an instructional DVD to help men and women everywhere, but mostly women.
Wow.
Please continue talking about this amazing new DVD.
Yes, on my Looking for Things instructional DVD, you can learn such advanced steps as stand up, walk around, look behind furniture, and for the advanced, the difficult, look in another room.
Ooh.
Here's a fun fact. Did you know that small items can sometimes slide down between the cushions of your couch, hidden from plain sight?
Whoa, slow down. I can't comprehend all of this information at once.
Well, that's why you need my new instructional DVD, the patented Looking for Things system.
I'm going to buy one right now. Wait, I can't find my purse.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. Maybe if I pick up this coat and move it over to the right. There's my purse.
Yes, it's just that easy. Order now.
Just $27.95. To order, just dial 1-800-LAZ-SLOB or on the internet, visit www.fortheloveofgodpickupyourcrap.com. Be sure to look for Lukeski's books. Well, did you look for it? It was right here. And why don't you get up off your ass and look for it yourself? Order now. Operators are standing by.
You are listening to Mike on Mike Dell's World Podcast.
And now it's time for... This is a song about stupid people that make the news. News of the stupid. And the false accusations made against me. Word.
I guess they're stupid to prove it innocent, cause they make it so damn easy to incriminate. Can we incarcerate? How about we vaccinate? So from common sense they will no longer deviate. I guess they're stupid to prove it innocent, cause they make it so damn easy to incriminate. Can we incarcerate? How about we vaccinate? So from common sense they will no longer deviate. So if you're
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I've been reporting the news of the stupid for years. So this wasn't me. I didn't do it. You've got to believe me.
Slam the gavel, judge, whopping gotta grind. Rocking my brain for days, how'd I get these black wet stripes? Smartest guy in my house, that was me a week ago. Blacked out, and now I'm the male Lindsay Lowe. And you can throw the book at me, and I'ma not know how to read. Can I just pay for my Mickey D's with this bag of weed? I'ma jump inside a panda cage for a hug instead of a slave. And then do each and all my business on a toy that stores display. This is obviously a case of misplaced identity. Plus his face is too pretty for this backwards carved letter B. If I can't purify this dumb, it's gonna kill me. What's going on? Why these cop cars playing chicken with me?
Stupid to prove it innocent, cause they make it so damn easy to incriminate. Can we incarcerate? How about we vaccinate? So from common sense they will no longer deviate. I guess it's stupid to prove it innocent, cause they make it so damn easy to incriminate. Can we incarcerate? How about we vaccinate? So from common sense they will no longer deviate. So if you're innocent,
It's kind of blurry.
Come on, say one complete
I don't remember much.
So if you're innocent,
And I don't think I want to.
Come on, say one complete sentence.
And I think it went down like this. I was taping my podcast show. Next thing you know, everything goes black. I woke up with a way lower IQ and a blood alcohol level of 0.42. I never claimed to be a genius, but this was deranged. I started acting stupid like my brain was shortchanged. I tried to sell my baby on Craigslist, and then while robbing a bank, I handed them a driver's license. What? Scratched my itch with a gun. It was loaded. Cleared cobwebs with a blowtorch and my house exploded. But then the moment I really feared, guilty on all charges for the dumbest person of the year.
I guess it's stupid to prove it innocent, cause they make it so damn easy to incriminate. Can we incarcerate? How about we vaccinate? So from common sense they will no longer deviate. I guess it's stupid to prove it innocent, cause they make it so damn easy to incriminate. Can we incarcerate? How about we vaccinate? So from common sense they will no longer deviate. Stupid as child. They will no longer deviate. I guess it's stupid to prove it innocent, cause they make it so damn easy to incriminate. Can we incarcerate? How about we vaccinate? So from common sense they will no longer deviate. So if you're innocent,
News of the stupid. Word up. Never thought I'd be making my own news. I can't brain today. People are stupid, and once again, they've proven it. Visit ManicMondays.net for more information.
And that's, let's see, that was, it's from the FUMP, the Funny Music Project. I don't remember who sung that, but Stupid as Charged is the name of the tune. But that's also off of the PodSafe Music Network or musicalley.com. That's part of Adam Curry's company, Mevio. Anyway, I'm sure you're familiar with the podcast or Summer of Podcast 2 contest done by podcastmadness.com. Anyway, I don't have a code this week. I said that last week, and then I realized I did have a code, but I don't this week, but I will next week. And let's see, this week, you can still go listen to the last episode of the Tech Podcast weekly podcast over at blogs.techpodcast.com. The Midwest Wasteland, the Totally Cool Tech Podcast, Meet the Talkers, the Caffeination Podcast, and that one's pretty cool. The Video Game News Radio, SDR News, old Andy McCaskey there, a friend of mine and friend of the show and a member of the Tech Podcast Network. Let's see, Tech Talk Sinanka. I don't know. I still don't know what that is, but I'll have to go check that out. That's over at, mmmnetcast.com/TTPS. And then Kevin Oblast Radio. And those guys all have codes this week. Oh, actually, you know what? They don't. But you could still probably find a code over there on those guys. That's right. We got this week, we've got the Practical Amateur Radio podcast over at myamateurradio.com. Got the Geek Tech Live podcast at geektechlive.com. Got the Mike Tech Show at miketechshow.com. That's not me, that's some other Mike. He's really good. Sports Unleashed over at wavesoftech.com /sports-unleashed. The Tech Rage News at pcrtech.com/podcast. The Indie Radio Chattanooga at indieradiochattanooga.com. The Mobile City Net Radio at mobilecity.net. Technorama at chuckchat.com. And, of course, Jeffrey Powers, the brains behind Podcast Madness and the Summer of Podcast contest, www.geekazine.com. That's like magazine, but put geek instead of mag. Anyway, so those are the ones that have the codes this week. Of course, if you go back, those other ones that I listed and listen to them, they'll have codes that are still good, I'm imagining. But I'll have a code next week, both here and over at geekofthenorth.com. Got a bunch of them: the Moxie Mo Show, Cleveland Sports Radio, the Force Field, What Now Tech Podcast, the Jesus Geek, Cross Driven Radio, of course, Mike Dell's World and Geek of the North, and the CS Tech Cast. So that'll be next week, starting July 15th, actually. So the next show that I do will have my promo code. And you can win all kinds of cool stuff. There's some big prizes, some little prizes. Go over to podcastmadness.com and look over on the right-hand sidebar there. And if you get a code, put it in there, and you'll be put in to win many, many different prizes. I think the Caffeination podcast has coffee and some other thing, and a bunch of gift cards for like iTunes and Best Buy and that kind of thing. And like I said, there's going to be some big prizes from HP. And this all will end in October, so it's a little bit past summer, be into the fall or autumn, as the Europeans say. And but the final large prize giveaway will be in Las Vegas at the Blog World and New Media Expo Mandalay Bay, and I believe that's the last weekend of October. But I don't know. I haven't made my reservations yet, but I will be there. So anyway, let's see. Okay, what did I get in my FedEx package? Well, backstory here. Of course, I've been talking about cars a lot lately. I said I've been having car fever. Of course, you heard the story. I went out to look at a 2004 Toyota Camry, and my 1998 Toyota Camry decided that would be a great time to blow a timing belt. And it turned out that the water pump had seized up, and therefore eating the timing belt, which had the same effect. Ended up having to be towed. And anyway, got that car back on the road, got the Cadillac back on the road with its minor electrical issue. I still haven't got the old Ford truck on the road yet, but that'll be happening rather soon. In fact, probably tomorrow. I got to move some stuff around in the garage from my sister's 40th birthday party that we gave a couple weeks ago that I haven't moved around. But once I get the truck in the garage, I'll start working on that. Hopefully have that on the road by the weekend. But anyway, I went out to, I found another car that I was interested in. And this would have been really cool, but I decided against it. I don't know, it just didn't feel right. But at the time, I was all for it. And I don't know, if I'm not careful, I might still be all for it. But it was a 2005 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, P-71 police cruiser. Come from the state of Michigan, the Michigan State Police, but it was an undercover car, or what's affectionately known as a slick top. Now, in Michigan, you're not allowed to have a police car unmarked, or at least the state police isn't allowed to. The county sheriffs do it, but the state police are not allowed to have a completely unmarked car. So they have to have at least the markings on the passenger side of the car. So, but anyway, this Crown Victoria was an 05, had 90-something thousand miles on it, and it was in extremely good shape. The guy that bought it, now the state of Michigan leases their cars for the state police, so the car, it's 3 years as a police car, and then it gets auctioned off from the leasing company that leases them. This guy bought it from the state auction, and of course he added cruise control, which none of the cop cars in Michigan anyway have standard, because they spec them out a certain way. But he added cruise control, and he added remote start, remote locks, and it was just a nice car, and it was relatively cheap. I thought about it, took it for a ride. It was a nice car. I was almost ready to pull the trigger on it, and I don't know, something popped up in my head and said, no, I shouldn't do that. But part of the deal was, when I talked to my wife, I said, if I get this car, I'm going to have to spend, $300 or $400, get a decent stereo in it. Because, I need to have a stereo that I can plug an MP3 player in, or, have an aux jack, or, an iPod interface or whatever. I don't use the iPod for podcasting, podcast listening all the time or anything, but, use my Droid phone. But, I could, if I had a vehicle that had an integrated iPod set up, I probably would break out the iPod and use that. I'm not super brand loyal when it comes to that kind of thing. But anyway, that part of the problem is that my old Camry, that it's my daily driver, doesn't have any sort of iPod integration, and it has a cassette player, and of course I have one of those cassette adapters, and that works fine, except for the cassette drive in the stereo in the Camry is starting to wear out. So, I hear this click, kitty click, kitty click, kitty click, kitty click. So anyway, I told Kathy, I said, well, I'm just getting a bad vibe about this old cop car, and I don't know, maybe we'll just drive the Camry till it drops. What the heck? I've got towing, and if I got to take long trips, I'll rent a car, take the Cadillac, or borrow my mom's car like I did for the Columbus trip. So I really don't absolutely need a new car. So hopefully that'll stave off the car fever. But in the meantime, I said, hey, I need to put an audio input into that Camry. And rather than buy a stereo that had it and all that, okay, I'm going to go cheap. So I bought a Scosche, what is it? SCOSCHE, Universal Audio Input for your MP3 player or other portable device. Basically what it is a wired FM translator, or FM, I don't know, what do you call it? Anyway, instead of having, like the FM thing that, hearing the police sirens, let's see if the filter takes that out. Yep. I don't see any indication on the meter, but had an ambulance or police or something go by with their sirens a-blaring, and I don't know if you heard that. Hopefully not. And hopefully I don't have this gate too tight, but I do definitely like having the gate on here so that when I stop talking, it's pretty much silent. And that was an intentional gap. You ever wonder why people print on blank pages? This page intentionally left blank. Well, okay, it's not blank, but anyway, I digress. But anyway, I got this FM translator, or FM modulator, I guess you call it, wired. So this should work. So anyway, gotta install that, but that'll be nice. I'll have an actual, at least have a line level audio input into the stereo, and won't have to use that cassette adapter anymore. And that'll work out. That'll work out both for the XM radio and for the MP3 player. I almost never listen to the radio anymore, even though I do a radio show. How ironic is that? So. Anyway, let's see. Did I play everything here? I think I might. No, I didn't. I got one more song, and that's still in the stupid and dumb category. So I'm gonna play this, and this is the Volume Brothers. Don't be a dumbass.
Don't be a cretin if you don't mind, or a jerk if you'd be so kind. But most of all, I'd ask, don't be a dumbass. Try to show some class, or better yet, some dignity and some self-respect. That's all I'd ask, don't be a dumbass. Some are just beginners yet to master their art, and there's some folks out there who were born for the part. They're all around, it's plain to see. Another dumbass is the last thing we need. So do me a favor, won't you give it a try, and don't act like one for once in your life. Yeah, that's all I'd ask, don't be a dumbass. Yet to master their art, and there's some folks out there who were born for the part. They're all around, it's plain to see. Another dumbass is the last thing we need. So do me a favor, won't you give it a try, and don't act like one for once in your life. Yeah, that's all I'd ask, don't be a dumbass. Hear what I'm saying? Don't be a dumbass. You know I mean it now. Don't be a dumbass. Dumbass.
I don't know anybody like that. So, anyway, I'm going to cut this Well, I'm not cutting it short. Hell, we're up at 51 minutes here, coming up right now. Anyway, I think I'm going to get out of here, get this composed and uploaded. Hopefully the audio quality's okay. I made a couple more changes since the last podcast, and of course I'm continually changing, and I need to quit talking about it, but anyway. And if you're listening to this on Monday, on Tuesday, I'm hoping to record a Geek of the North. So look for that. I still won't have a code for the contest, but next week I'll have a code on both podcasts. And also, oh, hey, I forgot all about this. I just started a video feed. Okay, there really isn't much there yet, but rather than put video out on this feed, I did finally start a video feed for Mike Dell's World Video. And it's real easy to subscribe. You go over to MikeDellsWorld.com, and over on the right-hand sidebar, you'll see links to subscribe to Mike Dell's World, Mike Dell's World, or Mike Dell Unplugged at Mike Dell's World, or MikeDell.com. I think MikeDellsWorld.com also works too for now. I don't know if I'm going to renew that, but and then you'll see the Mike Dell's World video feed. And what I'm doing over there is it's going to be random videos. It's going to be a completely separate and distinct podcast from this. I'm not going to just do video of what I'm doing here. That would be boring. It's just me talking into a microphone and jumping up to get a fresh drink or whatever while the music's playing. So that would be boring. So it's going to be, totally different content, and it's on a totally different feed, so that if you're listening to this on an audio player, you're not going to get videos coming down the feed. Or if you don't want to listen to me blabber on and just want to see videos, well, go look over there. Got 2 episodes up. We got a real quick test video, which actually didn't turn out worth a crap. And then I've got a tour of my Lake Ann house, which was pretty cool. The renters that I had moved out on the 1st of July, and on the 5th of July, I recorded this video that I was going to put on Craigslist to advertise the place. But I had one person or one couple coming over to look at the place. So I went over there and recorded the video, and then they showed up about 10 minutes later. And by the time, an hour after I recorded that video, they were ready to sign the lease and hand me some money and rent the place. So they did. And so I didn't really have any use for that video. So I thought I'd throw it up on a feed. And I've got some video from our little local tourism adventure on Saturday. I'm going to glue that together, and that'll be the 3rd episode. Actually, it'll be 002 of Mike Dell's video. And in case you want to type it in, it's the feed is MikeDell.com/feed/MDWV. And that's the feed for the videos. Right now I'm putting them in MP4 format. That's H.264 formatted for the iPod. But, I can adjust that at any time. I don't know. Tell me if you like that format or some other format, whatever. This should work in the largest array of players. Of course, also I'm uploading it to Blip TV, which will, you can just watch it on the website if you want. And, that works on every Flash-enabled device, and maybe at some point HTML5. So I guess if you're on your iPad, you're better off downloading the MP4 and watching it. Otherwise, you just watch it right there on the website. Although I don't get credit for that as far as my stats go. But yeah, you can watch it there anyway, because I really don't care about that stuff. So, okay, now that's it. Here we are at 55:45 right now. And I I think, good enough. I'm also encoding these at a little bit lesser bit rate, so they shouldn't be as large a file as they have been in the past. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little spoiled here on 20 meg cable internet, so I'll try to be mindful of that. But anyway, I'm encoding them at about half the size of what they've been. Anyway, catch me later, and I will catch you later on Mike Dell's World.
That's all, folks.